Devin, I just keep thinking this morning as you've been tracking this storm, this was in the forecast all day yesterday that we were going to be getting a Friday morning storm, and here we are.
Yeah, and it's moving out pretty quickly. The storms are now long gone. There's still going to be some showers for a few more hours, but another good dose of rain in our northern counties where, well, we've needed it. And I know we've gotten a lot this month. I know some folks are saying we didn't need any more. Well, some areas didn't need any more, but our northern counties are still under extreme drought, even with the rain we've had recently. So this is very good to see. An inch to an inch and a half of rain, almost 1 3/4 around Pawhuska, Winona this morning. Closer to about 3/4 of an inch from Bartlesville, and then that be back up towards Hula and Copan Lakes. Unfortunately, it looks like the totals were a little bit lower there. Independence, Kansas, over 1 inch, nearly 1 inch around Coffeyville. Lighter totals around Miami to Grove, but those will add up a little bit more here. And again, varying totals, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch around Tulsa County, about 1 inch around Pawnee, and then you get to around Wagner, Haskell, 1/2 inch, 1 inch and a half in Tahlequah, but then that was the cutoff there. Notice you get south of Muskogee, south of Sallisaw, really south I-40. No rain this morning. With the trajectory of the system, it stayed across northeastern Oklahoma and southeast Kansas. That's also, of course, making a difference in the temperatures right now. Rain-cooled air, upper 60s to the north. Not rain-cooled air, still very muggy to the south, upper 70s to near 80 in southeastern Oklahoma. So if you're stepping outside in our southern counties, you're probably thinking, okay, I don't feel the cool down yet. Well, that'll still be on the way. It's going to be more of a gradual cool down for our southern counties later today. Winds are still relatively gusty. You see, it's highly variable, but we're still seeing some 25, 30-mile-an-hour gusts, and at times near and north of Tulsa this morning, even through the mid to late morning hours, you could see some 30, 35 mile, maybe even up to 40-mile-an-hour gusts very briefly at times. On the backside of that system, it's kind of gusting out, so to speak, and it kind of creates its own area of low and high pressure, creates some pressure gradient differences that produce some strong winds. So even though the storms are long gone, we've just got some trailing rain now north of Tulsa, north of I-44 and Highway 412. There will still be the potential for some, at times, gusty winds through the late morning hours as this moves to the east. I think by, through 10 to 11 o'clock this morning, this is still hanging on northeast of Tulsa, but then closer to the lunchtime hour, most of that will be off the map. For kids that are going to be on the field later today, not hot for a change, but of course, a lot of fields are going to be damp. At least northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Oklahoma, different story. Any weather hazards, heat stress, much less of an issue. I will still point out that southeastern Oklahoma is still going to be, I think, on the muggy side of things for a lot of the day. So there may still be some minor heat stress issues in southeastern Oklahoma, at least briefly today, especially if the sun breaks back out. But we are expecting clouds to hang in for a good chunk of the day. Now, where the sun returns, of course, we'll recover. But look at our highs. There's a chance some areas north of Tulsa holding the upper 70s today. Now, if we see more sunshine, probably be a little warmer. Low 80s in Tulsa, upper 80s southeastern Oklahoma. It'll probably still feel like the 90s at times this afternoon in, say, Pittsburgh, Latimer, LaFleur County. So it's not, just going to be just a gigantic drop in temperatures for you guys, but it's still going to be better. The past 2 or 3 days, heat index has been around 115 in southeastern Oklahoma, so you're still going to be a lot better than that. Tomorrow morning, low to mid 60s, especially northeast of Tulsa, around Grand Lake, Veneta, Miami, Bartlesville, Coffeyville. It's going to feel awesome. Could be a slight chance for shower in the morning, southeastern Oklahoma. Saturday afternoon, highs upper 80s, feeling fantastic. Tomorrow will be a low humidity day area-wide. Now notice late Saturday, you're going, are you kidding me? You're seeing more showers and storms across southeast Kansas. Late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, there's a slim chance that a couple isolated storms could drift their way out of southern Kansas into northern Oklahoma. It looks like a fairly low-end chance. Just something we'll watch. Late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Sunday morning still feels great. Sunday afternoon, a little hotter, but again, humidity values will be reasonable. Next week, though, the heat cranks back up, and with another batch of rain, that'll probably crank up the humidity as well. So it's real dog days of summer next week with highs back around 100, and that may last for potentially several days.